The afternoon of April 3, 2025 began like any other spring day in Greensville. The sun was shining brightly, casting a warm glow over the small town. People went about their daily routines, unaware of the impending disaster that would soon unfold. The air was warm, and birds sang in the trees. It was the kind of day that made you want to be outside, enjoying the beauty of nature. The gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of blooming flowers, adding to the idyllic atmosphere. Children played in parks, enjoying the sunshine. Their laughter echoed through the air as they ran around, carefree and full of energy. Parents watched from nearby benches, chatting and soaking up the sun. But by late afternoon the sky began to shift and churn. Dark clouds started to gather on the horizon, slowly blotting out the sun. The once bright and cheerful day was beginning to take a sinister turn. What started as a few dark clouds quickly transformed into a swirling mass of gray and green. The sky looked angry, as if it was preparing to unleash its fury. People began to notice the change, their expressions turning from joy to concern. As the sky darkened, the wind picked up, whipping through the streets. Leaves and debris were sent flying, and the once gentle breeze had turned into a howling gale. The sound of the wind was eerie, a warning of the storm's approach. Trees swayed violently, their branches groaning under the strain. The wind seemed to be getting stronger by the minute, and the trees looked like they might snap at any moment. The town was now on high alert, with everyone bracing for the worst. An unsettling stillness fell over the town, a harbinger of the chaos that was to come. It was the calm before the storm, a moment of eerie quiet that made the impending disaster even more terrifying. People held their breath, waiting for the storm to hit. The wail of tornado sirens pierced the air, urging residents to seek shelter immediately. Panic set in as people scrambled to find safety. The sirens were a stark reminder of the danger that was now imminent. The storm descended upon Greensville with terrifying speed. The sky was now a swirling mass of dark clouds, and the wind was howling like a banshee. The town was plunged into darkness, and the air was filled with the sound of the approaching tornado. A deafening roar filled the air as a monstrous funnel cloud, its tip a churning vortex of debris, ripped through the heart of the town. The tornado was a force of nature, unstoppable and merciless. It tore through buildings, uprooted trees, and left a trail of destruction in its wake. Homes were reduced to rubble in the blink of an eye, their contents scattered for miles. The once peaceful town of Greensville was now a scene of devastation. The storm had passed, but the aftermath was a stark reminder of its power and fury. The tornado, later classified as an EF3 with winds reaching a staggering 165 miles per hour, carved a path of destruction a quarter-mile wide through Greensville. It left a trail of devastation in its wake, a stark reminder of nature's raw power. Homes were ripped from their foundations, their roofs peeled back like tin cans. Cars, once symbols of everyday life, were tossed like toys, their metal frames twisted and mangled beyond recognition. The landscape, once familiar and comforting, was transformed into a scene of unimaginable chaos. The air was thick with the smell of splintered wood, dust, and the acrid scent of leaking gas. As the storm subsided and the dust began to settle, the true extent of the devastation became heartbreakingly clear. 5 lives were lost in the tornado's wrath, their absence leaving an unfillable void in the heart of the community. Over 50 people sustained injuries, some minor, others life-altering. Hundreds of homes were damaged or destroyed, leaving families displaced and facing the daunting task of rebuilding their lives. The tornado's impact extended beyond physical damage. The emotional toll on survivors, witnesses, and first responders was immeasurable. The Greensville tornado was a tragic but stark reminder of the volatile weather patterns that plagued the Midwest. It was spawned by a powerful storm system that swept across the region, fueled by a potent mix of warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico and cooler, drier air from the north. This clash of air masses created an unstable atmosphere ripe for severe weather. As the storm system moved eastward, it interacted with wind shear, a change in wind speed and direction with height, which caused the updraft within the storm to rotate, ultimately spawning the deadly tornado. Section 5. A Community United. The Immediate Response. In the immediate aftermath of the tornado, a spirit of resilience and compassion emerged from the wreckage. First responders, many of whom had lost their own homes, worked tirelessly, their courage undeterred by exhaustion and despair. They searched for survivors amidst the rubble, their actions a beacon of hope in the darkness. Volunteers from neighboring towns and states poured into Greensville, offering helping hands and words of comfort. Community centers and schools were transformed into makeshift shelters, providing food, water, and a place of refuge for those who had lost everything. Section 6. Rebuilding Lives, State and Federal Aid. The scale of the devastation in Greensville prompted an immediate outpouring of support from across the nation. The governor declared a state of emergency, paving the way for federal assistance. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, swiftly deployed teams to the disaster zone, providing much-needed aid and resources to help families begin to piece their lives back together. Fundraising campaigns were launched by local organizations and individuals, demonstrating the power of human compassion in the face of tragedy. Donations poured in from across the country, providing financial assistance to those struggling to cope with the aftermath of the storm. Section 7. Echoes of Storms Past, Debbie's Warning. This chapter delves into the significant impact of Tropical Storm Debbie and the subsequent tornado that struck Greensville, emphasizing the importance of preparedness and community resilience. The Greensville tornado was a stark reminder of the region's vulnerability to severe weather. The devastation left behind was a testament to the sheer power of nature and the need for constant vigilance. Less than a year earlier, in August 2024, Tropical Storm Debbie brought torrential rains and high winds to Virginia. The storm caused widespread flooding, uprooted trees, and left thousands without power, creating a chaotic and dangerous environment. While Greensville was spared the brunt of Debbie's fury, the storm served as a warning, highlighting the importance of preparedness and the unpredictable nature of severe weather events. Residents took to boarding up windows, securing outdoor items, and stocking up on essential supplies. Debbie triggered tornado warnings across the state, underscoring the reality that even tropical systems can spawn twisters far inland. The alerts sent waves of anxiety through communities, reminding everyone of the ever-present threat of severe weather. The storm left a legacy of awareness, prompting many in Greensville to take steps to prepare for future severe weather events. Community meetings were held to discuss emergency plans, and families began assembling emergency kits with essentials like water, food, and first aid supplies. This proactive approach undoubtedly saved lives when the April 2025 tornado struck. The community's resilience and preparedness efforts were put to the test, and their actions in the face of disaster proved to be life-saving. Section 8. Greensville Rises, a testament to resilience. In the weeks and months following the tornado, the true spirit of Greensville shone through. Amidst the rubble and loss, a determination to rebuild took root. Neighbors helped neighbors, sharing what little they had and offering words of encouragement. The community's resilience, its unwavering belief in a brighter future, became a source of inspiration. Long-term recovery plans were developed, focusing on not just rebuilding structures, but also on healing the emotional scars left by the storm. The Greensville tornado was a tragedy, but it also revealed the extraordinary strength and compassion that resides within a community united by adversity. Section 9. The Future of Storms, Preparedness, and Climate Change. The Greensville tornado served as a stark reminder of the increasing frequency and intensity of severe weather events. This small town, once a peaceful community, was suddenly thrust into chaos, illustrating the devastating power of nature. The destruction left behind was not just physical, but emotional, as families grappled with the loss of their homes and the disruption of their lives. Meteorologists warn that climate change is likely contributing to these trends, creating conditions that are more favorable for the formation of tornadoes and other extreme weather phenomena. The scientific community has been studying these patterns for years, and the data is becoming increasingly clear. Rising global temperatures are altering weather systems in ways that make severe storms more common and more intense. As our planet warms, the atmosphere holds more moisture, providing fuel for powerful storms. This increased moisture content can lead to heavier rainfall and more severe flooding, compounding the damage caused by high winds and tornadoes. The interconnectedness of these factors means that a single change in the climate can have cascading effects on weather patterns. Changes in jet stream patterns, influenced by a warming Arctic, can lead to more persistent weather systems, increasing the risk of prolonged severe weather outbreaks. These shifts can cause weather systems to stall, leading to extended periods of rain, snow, or heat, depending on the season. The impact of these prolonged events can be devastating, affecting agriculture, infrastructure, and human health. The Greensville tornado is a call to action, a reminder that we must prioritize climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies to build more resilient communities prepared for the storms of the future. This means investing in better infrastructure, supporting scientific research, and fostering community awareness and preparedness. By taking these steps, we can help ensure that when the next storm comes, we are ready to face it head-on, minimizing damage and protecting lives.